Okay, we got to test the volume here. Then we'll get going. One second, folks. Okay, we got to test the volume here. Then we'll get going. All right, I think we're good. Just gotta clean out the lenses real quick. Okay, what is good, everybody? It is let me start over. What is up, me brothers and sisters? It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless wonder, pinned, the man Lincoln Clay, coming at you with a live stream of a set of Corsa Competizione. And this time we are trying out my new Fanatec Podium DD1 wheelbase. Start out by thanking everyone who tuned in to the live unboxing video earlier today. After I got done with the unboxing video, I took a quick minute to get everything set up and just monkeyed with it for a quick moment. It was really easy to set up, and the first time I tried it, I was getting minimal feedback, so I didn't blow a gasket or anything like that. I was like at 20 newton meters of torque. Obviously I got to go into the settings, so I went into the settings in the Fanatec control panel, and the force feedback was set at 35%. So I barely felt anything. So I kept monkeying with it, turned it up, turned it up, turned it up, turned it up. Now I've got the force feedback turned up to 80%, but that is at low torque. So I'm probably, from what I understand, low torque on this wheelbase is maxes out at 10 newton meters. So with me having the torque set at 80%, I think that's the equivalent of me using 8 newton meters of torque. I've got to get the metal quick release, which unlocks the high torque mode on this wheelbase. So I ordered that a couple of days ago, but I haven't gotten a confirmation email from Fanatec, so I'll have to contact them tomorrow so we can get that ball rolling. So what I felt for the few minutes that I was playing earlier, I would have to say that I had to turn the wheelbase up to about 60% before I felt the equivalent of what I was getting out of the CSL Elite. But in all fairness to the CSL Elite, all this time that I was using that wheelbase, I never touched any of the controls. I just, whatever the Fanatec control panel had it set at, that's where I left it at. I never adjusted the force feedback from the control panel. Now, when I tried Automobilista 2, I did adjust the force feedback in game, but that was on the CSL Elite. I tried this Podium DD1 on Automobilista 2. Unfortunately, it doesn't recognize the Podium DD1. It recognizes all the other Fanatec wheelbases, but not the DD1. So I think, from what I understand, I guess there's like a capability mode or something that you have to use, and the Automobilista 2 will treat this wheelbase as if it's a club sport wheelbase. So God, I forgot what I was going to say. So yeah, in all fairness to the CSL Elite, I've never touched any of the settings from the control panel. And with this DD1, I had to turn the settings up to about 60% before it was equal to or greater than the default settings that I had the CSL Elite set to. So I've got it set to 80%. I haven't tried it with the settings this high. I've tried it at 60, 65, 70, even 75%, but not 80. So I'd imagine it's going to be pretty strong. So let's get in here and set that. All right, we're going to do a quick practice in mount panorama, and then we'll go jump into an actual race. I feel like I'm one of the big boys now as far as my equipment goes. I got a legitimate rig and I got a legitimate wheelbase now. And when I tested it earlier, I was testing it on flat screen with the sound turned off. So I was smashing all over the walls and stuff. Plus, there was a couple of times I hit the wall on purpose because I wanted to see how hard the wheel would spin from hitting the wall.
Green light, go, go, go.
Okay. All right, let's see what we got. I feel the bumps going down the road. Oh shit! Let's see here. One thing I will say, there's pretty much no dead spot. You kind of feel a little bit of a notch at 0 degrees. But I don't feel a dead spot. Ooh. Ooh. So I'll say this about the force feedback. On the straights, you can feel all the small details. And ooh.
We've got some light damage on the front.
And that's what throws me off right there, is that when you go into a corner here, when you go into a curve, initially the force feedback is pretty strong, so your natural instinct is to try to fight it. And I guess when you get around that curve and the force feedback starts to let off a little bit, you're still cranking it kind of hard as the wheelbase is letting off of the forces. So that basically caused me to over crank it and spin out. So I got to learn to drive all over again.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Ooh. Gotta be careful hitting the brakes too, because one thing that I'm seeing with this, now this is where I guess some of the fine details come in. When you're braking, you know, well, they talk about tram lining, and that's basically the grooves that are worn into a road from years and years of cars going over that road. And if your car falls into those grooves, the road has a tendency to want to pull the car in the direction that those grooves are in. And so when I was coming down the straights and I hit the brakes, I think I might have found a couple of grooves in the road, because there was a couple of times where I hit the brakes and the cars wanted to try to pull in one direction. So I think there's definitely some grooves in here. I guess that speaks to the detail of the developers laser scanning these tracks. Something else with the force feedback, it is the force feedback. I would probably say with the settings that I have right now, it's not much stronger than the CSL Elite, but the force feedback is stronger, but it's smoother. Whereas I would say with the CSL Elite that I had, the force feedback it could be kind of jerky. but that didn't bother me. I was totally fine with it. So right now, I think initially I can tell you guys from the first impression that I can tell that this is definitely a better wheelbase than the CSL Elite. But right now it's not like a holy shit, you know. Not right now. I'd imagine that once I'm able to unlock the high torque mode and use that, I'll probably be definitely blown away. Or I could simply use a little bit more. I could turn the gain up a little bit more, but I don't want to do that because the resistance will be even more. I would have to fight it even more, and then once the resistance reduces, I'm still over cranking, and that's going to cause me to spin out. So honestly, I think that as far as the settings goes for right now, I think I want to try to stick to what I had with the CSL Elite. So it'd be just, you know, so it'll just feel like muscle memory when I'm driving. So let's do another lap or two, and then we'll go jump into a live race. So I know I was being quiet for a minute because I was still trying to sort all this out. So yeah, going around the corners, the resistance is definitely stronger than the CSL Elite. It's kind of hard to describe what I'm feeling. It's some parts of the force feedback feel like the wheel was in sections. It feel like it was a space in between the sections. Like right there, going around that corner, the force feedback was smooth. JD Max, what's up? Is anything that I'm saying right now making any sense? I just seen it. I just tram lined a couple of times because I saw a groove in the road, and I felt the car pull me into that groove. Let me go on the grass for a second. So yeah, I felt the divot. I definitely feel the details in the road, but I'll say this. I felt those details with the CSL Elite. But it was more like like quick cuts, you know, if that makes sense. Cuts, nicks. Whereas everything I feel with this direct drive wheelbase is smoother. You know, I guess like if it was like You know how doctors watch a heartbeat? With the CSL Elite, it was, you know, sharp movements. Whereas with this direct drive, it's everything I feel is smooth. They call it the suck. Yeah, everything I feel is smooth. And again, the biggest thing that I have to account for is when you initially go into a corner, the force feedback is strong, so there's a natural reaction to want to apply extra force to the wheel to try to compensate for it. But the strong force feedback that you feel is kind of only there for a second. So when it lets off, you're still fighting from the initial forces that you felt at first. So when the forces are reduced and you're still fighting it, now you've overcranked the wheel and now you've gone into a spin. So at this point, I would probably say if you're going around a corner and you feel that jerk like that, it's like this, and then it starts to back off. When you go in there to fight it, you can't go like this and try to keep it there. You got to give it that initial fight and then kind of let off of it and almost kind of like let the car kind of dictate the force feedback and just kind of roll with it. Yeah, you can feel the weight shift. Yeah. And keep in mind, everybody, that everything that I'm telling you guys that I feel right now, it's in low torque mode, and I'm running this at about 80%. So that would pretty much be the equivalent of me running 8 Newton meters of torque, I believe. Now, I couldn't get Automobile Listener 2. I couldn't get that calibrated. But I'm sure the force feedback is going to be way too much in Automobile Listener 2. Because the force feedback was so strong in Automobile Listener 2 with my CSL Elite, I actually had to turn it down, believe it or not. So right now, again, with the settings that I have, right now, I would probably say, I feel where I see where this is definitely a better wheelbase than the CSL Elite that I was working with. But I don't think so. What you're basically saying is that you like it. Oh, no question that I like it. It's definitely, even in the low torque mode, it's stronger than what I had the CSL Elite set at. But again, in all fairness to the CSL Elite, I never touched any of the settings on the Fanatec control panel. So whatever was set at by default, that's where I left it at. Because I never messed with it. The only thing I ever did with the Fanatec control panel was to make sure that the wheelbase was up to date with the firmware. When I first fired this up, I felt virtually no force feedback. And I'm like, what? You know, and I went into the settings and saw that the overall feedback was set at 35%. So now I've got it cranked. I got it cranked up to 80%. Yeah, I'm gonna do some iRacing tomorrow, JD Max, because I got to get to bed soon. I just got back not too long ago from sitting with my father, so I'm kind of just now like really sinking my teeth into this wheelbase. But I'll definitely jump into iRacing some more tomorrow. Because I understand that people are saying that they feel that the force feedback on iRacing is definitely better than ACC. So, based on what I felt with my CSL Elite, the force feedback on Automobilista 2 might be overkill. You're definitely going to have to turn it down on Automobilista 2. So, with the settings that I have right now on a set of Corsa Competición, when you go into a corner, that initial force feedback that you feel, that first hard jerk, so to speak, is pretty strong. And then it drops off, and then kind of smoothly goes down. But I still got the initial resistance in my mind when I first went into that corner, so I'm still trying to over crank it. So I think I'll say this. Again, the settings that I have this set at is definitely stronger than my CSL Elite. And I definitely feel the details, but I felt the details with the CSL Elite. It's just that the details are smoother, whereas the details I felt, with the CSL Elite, it was like some sharp. The details that I felt was sharp, quick and sharp, and jerky. But I didn't mind that, Mike is acting up again. I'm going to address that. Hold on. One thing I've been finding out about my mic is that it's been going in and out. It'll start out bad for a few seconds, and then it'll clear itself up. That's something else that I'm going to address. I'm going to buy a boom arm this weekend, a table clamp, and mount it to the rig. So there's a microphone above my head, so we can get rid of having to use this shit. Well, let's see what we got in a real race. Fatal Charade was good. I'll say this, and please don't take it the wrong way, but I felt more of a wow moment when I jumped from that Thrustmaster to the CSL Elite than I do when I jump to this DD from the CSL Elite. So the CSL Elite gave me more of a wow moment than this did, because jumping to that CSL Elite from that Thrustmaster was like a quantum leap. So I think I would say this, for those of you that are in the same position that I was in, if you're jumping from a Thrustmaster or a Logitech and you're jumping into a CSL Elite, they talk about these belt driven, at least the CSL Elite in the club sport wheelbase, because they're belt driven. You know, some of these YouTubers and content creators act like those things are dinosaurs and act like if you got one of those, you're shortchanging yourself or whatever the case may be. I still think that CSL Elite is an amazing wheelbase. If something happened to this Podium DD and I had to send it back to Fanatec for repairs, I wouldn't be crying one bit if I had to go back and grab that CSL Elite and throw it back up here. So that's where I'm at with this. Definitely an improvement over the CSL Elite, but I'm still playing with it, so I kind of haven't really found that holy shit moment. You know, I did notice some small details, tram lining, divots, as JD Max, I'm sorry. Let's see what I can find as far as races goes. There's a Nürburgring that's full and a Monza that's full. There's a Kyalami. Well, why not go in there? It's only 5 people in there, but hell, I'll go in there. I like Kyalami anyway. If you still happen to be watching JD Max, what do you set your VRS at? I mean, how much, you know, what do you got to set at? Like 80%, 70%? I hear a Porsche coming by. All right, I got a minute to go. The controls are locked. So I think what's going to happen with this Podium DD, I think it's going to be a gradual build-up. Like with the CSL Elite, I was like down here with the Thrustmaster and jumping to that CSL Elite, it was like this, you know, went straight up. Holy shit, you know, I had a holy shit moment with that. With this Podium DD, I'm feeling like I'm going up like this. The more I tinker with it, the more I'm getting impressed with it, the more I like it. But it didn't initially blow my socks off the way the CSL Elite did. Oh, there goes some of that good, strong resistance right there. Oh, I noticed that the resistance changes too, according to how much gas or brake you apply. Oh shit, sorry about that. You said, have you tried this setup with Project Cars? No, I haven't played Project Cars in a while. I don't have Project Cars 3. Don't have any interest in playing it. Project Cars 2? I have it. But the only time I play it is if I have one of those days where I feel like driving the Ford GT, or I feel like going down Circuit de la Sarthe. But I'll get around to trying this on all the games that I have, all the sims. Oh yeah, I see now. When you step on the gas, you really feel that resistance building up. And then as you take your foot off the gas, you feel the resistance lessening. So right there, that was some nice strong resistance right there. That felt good. I will say that I'm probably going to be slower than I normally am until I learn this all over again. Boy, that resistance feels good at high speeds. Oh, no, don't hit that wall. We got to get off of here. Coming around that corner right there, that resistance feel real good. Damn, it is warm in here too. Ooh!
There's a slow car up ahead. Well done, mate. Personal best.
I think my personal best on this track is 145. I know I can beat that. 1 minute left, so it looks like this will be the last lap.
Russell West. Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it to him again. Faster car approaching. Roger. Leader has finished the race.
146.8.
Good job, mate. You're best.
Got faster and faster. All right, it's starting to feel more natural now. Still got to be careful of that first initial jerk, you know, because it feels like the hardest. And then I guess at that point, depending on how much gas or how much brake you're applying, then that resistance is going to drop off. So, yeah, I'm liking this. Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking this Podium DD. All right, folks, I'm going to take a second to grab a drink and turn on the AC because it's warm in here and I'm thirsty. Be right back.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Okay, we're back. Something else that I didn't mention is that I felt no flex whatsoever in this rig. So I'm really a bona fide sim racer now. So I would say my next move will probably be my last major move. I already have the metal quick release on the way. I think my next major move is going to be the V3 pedals, because they're available right now, and plus they have the vibrating motors on both the pedals, the brake and the gas pedal. And as far as the load cell goes for the CSL pedals, I would like to go that route, but there's going to be two problems with that. One is that load cell is going to be in high demand. A lot of people are going to be ordering that load cell. The other problem is the shipping crisis that we have here. There's going to be a lot of people. I think that load cell is supposed to be available February 8th or whatever the case may be. There's going to be a lot of people who's going to get an email a couple of days before the scheduled shipping date. They're going to get an email saying that they've been delayed. And I don't want to go through that shit. I don't want to go through 2 agonizing months of waiting for that load cell only to get an email at the last minute saying that it's been delayed. That's one of the reasons why I ended up going with this Podium, and I spent the extra money to get it. It was a combination of me feeling like now that I got a legitimate rig, I kind of was curious about getting a DD1, and so I skipped straight over to CSL DD. And then the other thing was that last email I got from Fanatec was the one that sent me over the edge. I was like, I just feel like I'm going to end up getting another email January 1st saying it has been delayed again. So at the end of the day, I spent the extra money, but I feel it's worth it. Let's go. People also talked about EMI, so maybe I'm getting a little bit of EMI, because the EMI issues that I've heard with this wheelbase mainly got to do with the mic. Like I said, I'm going to address that. I'm going to buy a microphone boom arm and attach it to the rig and start using my Yeti microphone instead of the mic on this headset. Oh, I'm the only guy in here.
Your lap time is invalidated. Please try to stay on the track.
All right, let's go find somewhere to go. Also, tomorrow I will be doing I will be streaming iRacing for the first time tomorrow, and I'll stream it to YouTube, and then after that, moving forward, I'm going to stream iRacing on Twitch, and I think that's something that I do believe that I can stick with, because iRacing has a pretty good sized following on Twitch. Oh, there's a spot open at Nürburgring. There's a spot open at Silverstone. Oh, and the ping is only 52 milliseconds. So all right, got a minute 45 seconds before I can get on the track.
We are halfway through. Keep pushing.
So this is definitely the last wheelbase that I'll ever need. I'll ever need, because there's no way that I'm going to sit here and be like, oh man, I wonder what the DD2 is like. 25 Newton meters of torque, when pretty much everybody who uses a DD1 has their stuff set at like 8 Newton meters or less. The hardcore people, like even Jardier, I think he has his running at about 14, 15 Newton meters. So as good as he is and as hardcore as he is, he doesn't even max it all the way out. So it would be totally imbecilic for me to even imagine wanting a DD2 at 25 Newton meters of torque. Now, from what I understand, the DD1 has the same motor as the DD2.
Watch out. Yellow flag ahead. Watch out in front. Faster cars approaching. Watch out. Faster cars approaching. Watch out. Faster car coming up behind you. Faster cars approaching. Watch out.
Ooh. Oh shit, I had a hiccup.
Yellow flag, be careful there. The faster car is approaching.
Damn, this wheel is starting to shake the shit out of me.
The leader has finished the race.
Nice!
Bring it back to the pits.
That lap I did 2 seconds better than the previous lap. That was fun. I'm starting to get used to this podium DD. Boy, there was some resistance there going around the corners. I'm starting to figure it out. Man, that was fun. I can't wait till I get out of work tomorrow, because I'm definitely going to play this, and I'm definitely going to play some iRacing tomorrow. Start building up a career in iRacing, because I eventually want to get to the GT3 or GTE class. So I sum it up like this: if you're looking to buy a DD1, fine, it's great. Definitely a great wheelbase, and I felt no flex too. So hats off to the GT Omega Prime. It'll be a different story once I get high torque mode unlocked on this wheelbase. It'll be a different story to see whether this rig flexes or not, but no flex whatsoever as of right now. None. No flex whatsoever. I really wish I didn't have to go to work tomorrow. Damn, I really want to stay home from work tomorrow. Is what it is. I can't wait to get out of work tomorrow. Come on home and jump in here and figure this thing out some more. So I really got to get to bed. I really want to stay up and do another race, but I have to be at work at 5 in the morning. So guess I'll take a quick look at Twitch before I go to bed. See if my boy JD Max is if he's online. See if he's streaming. So definitely check out my boy JD Max. I think it's JD Max 12. It might be 1210 JD Max 1210 on Twitch. Check him out. He streams 2-3 times a week. He streams a lot of iRacing. He's definitely better than me. And he races in VR as well. So definitely check him out. And don't forget we got ACC Friday coming up with Ham and the boys. Ham, VR, Kevy D77, Aero X, Buck, he joins us too. Buck, I think 1313, and a couple of others. So definitely tune in for ACC Friday. I think we kick off at about 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. So both myself and him, and also Aero X, he streams too. So once I stream Friday, I'll try to remember to put links in the in the description for Ham and Aero X for their channels. So with that, I'm gonna boogie on out of here. Also, check out my friend Salsa Ketchup. He just got the GT Omega Prime rig. He already had the XL seat, the GT Omega XL seat. So he just bought the rest of the Prime rig. He started putting it together today. He had to shut it down after a couple of hours. I think he's going to resume tomorrow. So make sure you check that out. So I know I've been rambling. I guess I'm kind of looking for an excuse to want to stay out here and keep playing because this was really fun. But you got to get to bed. Thanks for watching, everybody. Really appreciate it. So with that, you guys know the line. Wakanda forever. Long live the king. And deuces. We'll catch you on the next one.